Welcome, dear listener. Lay your head upon your pillow, and let the world slip softly away. Tonight, we travel far, far back in time, to an age where stone whispered secrets, and castles were born beneath starlit skies. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. And let the quiet murmur of history carry you gently into rest. Long ago, before the thunder of cannon fire or the elegance of Renaissance halls, there was only land, wild, untamed. Forests stretched endlessly. Rivers carved silent paths through misty valleys. And in those quiet spaces, people dreamed of safety, and of power. The medieval castle did not spring forth fully formed. It began, as a dream of protection. In the early days of the Middle Ages, around the 9th century, raiders came like phantoms in the night. Vikings from the north, Saracens from the south, and others who sought what others had. The people of Europe, scattered in feudal pockets, needed more than wooden huts and village walls. They needed something solid. Something permanent. They needed stone. The first castles were simple, wooden towers perched upon mounds of earth called mottes, surrounded by protective ditches or moats. These were called motte and bailey castles. So humble. So quiet. But they were the beginning of something great. Imagine now, the creak of wooden scaffolding as the first stone is laid. The quiet chant of monks blessing the foundation. The wind rustling through banners not yet raised. The walls rise, slow, deliberate, like the breath of a slumbering giant. Stone by stone. Smooth, cold blocks fitted by hand, each one whispering secrets into the next. The masons do not speak. Their tools clink softly in rhythm. They know the castle is more than a building, it is a heartbeat. A protector. A sentinel that will stand for centuries. Once the stone takes hold, the castle becomes a statement. Not just of safety, but of power. Lords and kings see them as symbols of their reach, their dominion. They place them high. Upon cliffs, beside rivers, among mountains, where all who pass might see, and feel awe. But the stone remembers. The stone records everything. It remembers the first footsteps across the courtyard, muddy from long travel. The laughter of children chasing chickens between walls. The quiet weeping of a widow by a shuttered window. The castle becomes more than walls and towers, it becomes a home. With each generation, the castles grow. Towers reach higher, like fingers toward heaven. Halls widen, filled with warm fires and cold ale. Chapels hum with Gregorian chants. The people live, and the stone listens. Let us pause now, and take in the silence of an empty courtyard. The breeze carries the soft perfume of lavender from a nearby herb garden. A flag flutters, lazily, above the battlements. Somewhere, a pigeon coos in the eaves. All is calm. All is safe. This is what the castle was built for. And yet, even in its silence, there is motion. Secrets whispered in stairwells, footsteps behind tapestries, letters sealed in wax and slipped into waiting hands. The castle protects, and conceals. Tonight, in our dreams, we wander this first castle. We run our fingers along the cool stone of the outer wall. We feel the grainy roughness beneath our touch. We climb slowly to the top of the watchtower. Each step a soft echo. Up, until the whole valley stretches before us, blue, silver, and silent in the moonlight. We are alone. But never lonely. The castle is with us. It breathes. It remembers. And now, as the stars will gently above, we lie down beneath a stone arch, wrapped in a woolen cloak, lulled by the steady rhythm of the wind through arrow slits. Sleep comes like a hush. And the castle watches over us. Just as it always has. Just as it always will. Shoo, you're still here, nestled in the gentle embrace of stone and silence. The stars have not yet faded, and the air is still cool with the hush of night. Tonight, let us wander, just beyond the keep. Past the archways. Beyond the courtyard. To the first breath of the castle's skin. Its walls. Its moat. Its quiet armor against the world. Close your eyes now. Let your breathing slow. Feel the ancient soil beneath your feet, soft and mossy. And listen. The whispering walls of the castle are telling their story. Before kings and queens sat upon velvet thrones, and long before courtly banquets echoed through tall halls, the builders of these fortresses turned first to defense. Their castles were not made for comfort alone, but for strength. For survival. For peace through preparation. They began, with the moat. Imagine it now, a wide trench carved deep into the earth, circling the castle like a sleeping serpent. Some moats were filled with water, still and dark, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Others remained dry, filled with sharpened stakes or hidden traps. But all were made with one purpose, to slow, to hinder, to guard. Step closer in your mind. Peer into the still waters of the moat. See how the moonlight dances gently on the surface. Feel the damp, earthy coolness rising from below. Quiet now. Some say the moats held secret creatures, monsters of the deep, but truly, it was time and cleverness that lived there. For every moment an enemy spent crossing that watery line, was a moment gained for the castle's defenders. And just beyond the moat stood the walls. Ah, the walls. Solid, towering, and unbroken. They rise before you now, tall and thick, made from limestone, granite, or flint. Laid one stone atop another with a patience only time can know. A barrier not just of stone, but of intent. They were never just built, they were crafted. With minds that knew danger and hearts that longed for peace. These walls were thick. Some over 30 feet wide. Wide enough to walk along the top, slowly, mindfully, as the guards once did. The parapets above your head were built with gaps, crenellations, where archers could hide, then strike. Up and down, breath in and out, like the very rhythm of battle. But tonight, there are no archers. Only quiet wind, and you. Let us walk now, along the inside of the outer wall. Each step is soft. Your footsteps echo gently against the stone. You can feel the age of it beneath your fingers, rough, cool, and ancient. See those small holes in the wall? They are arrow loops, narrow slits through which archers once loosed their silent arrows. From the outside, they appear as little more than shadows. But inside, they bloom wide, allowing movement and aim. So clever. So quiet. The castle wall is not just one wall. There are many. Often 2 or 3 rings of defense, concentric circles. Like a great stone rose unfolding around the keep. And between those walls, narrow corridors where soldiers might run, or enemies become trapped. The designers knew how to turn every stone into a weapon, every space into strategy. But listen. Can you hear that? Just beyond the wall, the wind rustling in tall grass. The chirp of a lone cricket. The sleepy call of an owl from the trees. No danger comes tonight. Only dreams. Let us rest now, at the base of the wall. We sit on a patch of soft moss, the stones warm from a sun long set. Above us, the battlements stretch into the sky like broken teeth against the stars. But there is no fear here. No siege. Only stories. The walls have seen so much. The thud of battering rams. The clang of ladders thrown down. But also the quiet laugh of lovers hidden in shadows. The solemn step of monks passing in prayer. The soft sigh of a squire watching the horizon, waiting for someone to return. Yes, the walls were built to keep danger out. But they also held in memories, laughter, and dreams. They were both prison and palace. Protection and prison. And still, they stand. Even now, in the waking world, many of them remain. Crumbled, ivy-covered, but strong. In fields. In forests. On the edges of cliffs and rivers. Ancient reminders that what we build in fear can still become something beautiful. Feel the wall behind you now. Let it support you. Let it hold you. You are safe here. The moat lies still. The stars drift slowly overhead. And the wind carries only the scent of distant wildflowers. This is the beginning of 1,000 stories. But for now, dear dreamer, let the walls of the castle become the walls of your rest. Let the moat be the quiet border of your sleep. And let this silence, heavy and ancient, carry you softly into slumber. You are protected. You are held. You are home. Sleep well. And dream of stone. Shoo. You've returned, quiet soul. The night air is gentle, and the stars above are soft with silver. The castle still sleeps, wrapped in the folds of the dark, and tonight, we wander deeper. Not into grand halls. Not into towers. But to the places few ever see. Come with me. Tonight, we visit the secrets of the drawbridge, and the hidden paths below. Let your eyes drift closed. Your breath fall slow. And let us dream of doorways made not just of wood or iron, but of shadow and silence. Candle. The drawbridge, such a familiar sight from fairy tales and stories. A great wooden platform that rises and lowers, guarding the gateway like a watchful giant. But in truth, it is more than just an entrance. It is a guardian of time. A heartbeat of the castle. Can you hear it? Creak, groan, thud. The sound of thick chains unwinding, the gentle splash as the wooden bridge lowers across the moat. Slowly. Carefully. Measured like the ticking of an old clock. The drawbridge doesn't hurry. It knows patience. It has waded through storms and sieges. It has felt the hooves of galloping horses and the weight of heavy carts, rain-slick and mud-caked. But when raised, it is a wall. Sealed. Impenetrable. And behind it, is where our dreams take us now. Let us step through. Past the gatehouse, past the iron portcullis with its jagged teeth like a metal grin, and into the quiet inner world of hidden doors. Yes, there are always secrets in castles. Some were built with them, from the very first blueprint. Others evolved over time, like winding roots beneath an ancient tree. But they all whisper the same truth: not everything was meant to be seen. Imagine now, a narrow doorway, half hidden behind a heavy tapestry. You push it gently. It opens with a sigh. Behind it, a spiral staircase curls downward, its steps worn smooth by careful feet. The air grows cooler. The light fades. You descend, slowly, quietly, the walls brushing against your shoulders, close like a secret. This is a servant's passage. A silent artery through the castle's heart. It winds between walls, emerging in kitchens, storerooms, and sometimes, right behind the throne itself. The nobles never saw them. But they were always there. Invisible hands, moving behind the scenes. But not all tunnels served service. Some were made for escape. Below many castles lie labyrinths of stone. Hidden doors in the floors of keeps. Trapdoors behind altars. Sliding panels that open into complete darkness. These escape tunnels led beyond the moat, under the fields, through the forest, to freedom. They were narrow. Cramped. But precious. Imagine a young noble slipping away in the dead of night, torch in hand, cloak drawn close. Behind them, the castle burns or falls. Before them, a chance. A path carved in silence. We walk that path now. The tunnel is cool and damp. Water drips slowly from the ceiling. Your footsteps are muffled by ancient dirt. You run your fingers along the stone. Every inch was carved by hand. every turn mapped by minds that knew fear and hope. Suddenly, the tunnel opens into a small chamber, circular, quiet. In the center, a rope ladder leading upward. At the top, a stone that lifts just enough. Beyond it, the woods. The world. But there is no danger tonight. No siege. Only dreams. We climb back down now, gently. Let the silence of the secret passage wrap around you like a blanket. Here, you are unseen. Here, you are safe. Candle. Back in the castle above, the drawbridge is slowly rising. You can almost hear the chains turning, the wood creaking upward until the gateway is sealed once more. Safe within the walls, the castle settles. All the doors are closed. All the tunnels are quiet. But you, dear listener, you have walked where others dared not. You have seen the unseen. Felt the passageways under your fingertips. Listen to the hush of stone and shadow. And now, as the night deepens and the stars begin to wane, you find a soft spot beside the inner gate. You curl beneath a cloak left behind by some forgotten guard. And you rest. As silent as the hidden tunnels. As calm as the drawbridge sleeping in the air. You are part of the secret now. Part of the stone. Sleep well, traveler. And dream of doors that open only for you. Welcome back, dreamer of stone. The castle still sleeps beneath the night sky, cradled in shadow and starlight. You've wandered its courtyards, walked across drawbridges, slipped through secret tunnels, and now, slowly, we climb. Upward. Into the silence. Into the tower. Let your eyes grow heavy. Your limbs melt into the quiet of the blankets around you. And follow my voice, slowly, as we ascend the winding staircase, each step a soft whisper echoing through the stone. This is the watchtower. The castle's eyes. Its sentinel. Built high upon the keep or at the far corners of the outer walls, these towers were placed to see, and to be seen. Their purpose was clear, to guard, to alert, to watch over the land as far as the horizon would stretch. But within them, there were whispers too. Candle. We begin at the base. The spiral staircase coils upward, tight and narrow. You run your fingers along the wall as we climb, feeling the coolness of centuries. There's the faint scent of old oil. Soot from torches long burned out. Above, a soft wind hums through the arrow slits. We keep climbing. The steps are worn smooth by boots of generations past, soldiers, sentries, messengers, monks. And now, yours. Upward. Higher. Until at last, we arrive. The room at the top is round and open, with narrow windows cut into every side. From here, the world opens up. The moonlight spills across the floor. The stars press close. And far below, the rest of the world feels like a distant dream. There is only the wind, and the stone, and you. Sit here now, by the eastern window. Let your eyes wander across the land. Can you see the gentle curve of the river in the distance? The flicker of torchlight on the far path? The treetops swaying like waves? This is where the watchman stood. Wrapped in furs. Eyes sharp. Heart steady. Listening for danger, watching for the glint of armor, the curl of smoke, the movement of men below. But more often than not, there was no danger. Only silence. Only stars. Only the gentle ticking of the world turning, slowly, endlessly, beneath them. And so, the tower became a place of quiet thought. Of solitude. Of poetry, sometimes. A sentry might hum softly to himself, or whisper a prayer into the darkness. Some even carved names into the stone, marking their place in time. If you listen closely now, you can hear it. The faint echo of those voices. I stood here, once, they say. I watched the dawn break, alone. I saw the world before anyone else did. Shoo. You are safe here. No arrow shall fly tonight. No fire shall rise. Only the breeze and the hush of ancient stone. Let your breath match the wind, in and out, soft and slow. Candle. The tower also held secrets, you know. Some watchtowers contained tiny hidden rooms, just large enough for a single person to hide. Some held bells or signal fires, others stored small weapons in locked boxes, ready for the unthinkable. But tonight, they are all empty. Waiting. Still. Above you, the roof stretches like a dome of slate and wood. Some towers were open to the sky, others capped, like a candle's wick beneath its glass. And in those open towers, oh, the stars. Can you feel them? The way they watch back. You are watched over, too. The tower guards not just the land, but you, curled in its corner, wrapped in sleep and dreams. Its stones remember every watcher who came before you, and they hum gently, a lullaby for the lonely. Here, you are not alone. The tower stands beside you. Always. Candle. Soon, we must descend. Back down the winding stair. Back through the castle's veins. But for now, one more moment. One more breath. Let your head rest gently against the cold wall behind you. Feel the strength in it. The stillness. You are far above the world. You are held in stone arms that have never failed. Let sleep take you, like mist climbing the hills. And dream not of danger, but of watchful peace. Of towers that never sleep, even as you do. Sleep now, quiet soul. The castle sees all. And it sees you. Shoo. The sun is just beginning to rise now. A faint blush on the distant hills. The stars are fading, and the castle breathes in the stillness of morning. You are still here, wrapped in the hush of stone and memory. Let's walk together, down from the tower, down past the gatehouse, and into the very heart of the castle. The Great Hall. It is here that life begins each day, and settles each night. Step softly now. The great wooden doors creak open, and the air inside greets you with warmth, and quiet. Welcome to the heart of the castle. Welcome, to the Great Hall. Candle. This is where the rhythms of life echo gently, like ripples across a still pond. Tall ceilings stretch above you, beams of oak dark with age. The scent of old smoke clings softly in the air, memories of 1,000 fires, each one telling its own quiet story. At the far end stands the high table, long, wooden, sturdy, where the lord or lady of the castle once sat. Their seat is carved and high-backed, but not garish. Modest, but dignified. Before it, rows of lower tables stretch toward the hearth. The floor is stone, smooth and swept. Straw sometimes scattered underfoot to soften steps and soak up spills. The hall is still now, but imagine. Soft footsteps as servants begin their work. A fire crackling into life at the hearth. The faint clink of pots and the whisper of early voices. The day begins with food. Porridge. Bread. A bit of dried fruit, perhaps. Nothing grand. Just enough to warm the belly and stir the soul awake. You sit for a moment at one of the long tables. Your hand trails across the wood, polished smooth by centuries of hands before yours. So many lives have passed through this space. So many stories. Candle. Later, the great hall becomes a place of gathering. Not of war or ceremony, just life. Here, disputes were settled, softly, fairly. Here, travelers told stories and merchants brought news from distant towns. Here, the servants laughed among themselves when no one else was looking. You might hear the faint tune of a lute being tuned in the corner, or the soft bark of a dog stretching in its sleep. And when feasts came, oh, how the room glowed. Not in chaos, but in warmth. Torches lining the walls, candlelight flickering across banners, the scent of roasting meat and fresh herbs. Children dozing in their mothers' laps. Old knights sipping ale with worn hands and quiet eyes. But those days are not today. Today, the hall is gentle. Still. It speaks in whispers, not shouts. You walk now toward the hearth. The fire is low but steady, its amber light dancing across the stones. You sit beside it, and for a moment, all is calm. There's a cat curled near the edge of the warmth, purring softly. And outside the tall stained windows, the sky turns pale gold. Candle. This room was never just a room. It was a gathering place. A judgment hall. A school. A chapel, sometimes. When the rains fell hard, people would huddle here, listening to the patter on the roof, their voices hushed by the weather. When winter came, the fire never died. When sickness came, the beds were moved here, close to the hearth's healing warmth. And when silence came, the hall held it like a treasured guest. Even now, it holds your silence too. You lean back. You breathe. The stone, the wood, the fire, the air, they all settle around you like a blanket. Outside, the castle stirs, but inside the hall, all is still. The day may begin soon. But not yet. Candle. Let your thoughts wander. Not to duties or worries, but to the rhythm of this place. The way the banners sway gently overhead, catching the breath of a hidden breeze. The way the shadows curl beneath the benches, soft and harmless. The way time moves slowly here, like honey, like mist. You are part of the hall now. A whisper among many. A gentle presence in the long memory of stone. Candle. Soon, we will rise and walk again. But for now, let yourself sink into this stillness. Feel the softness in your chest. The heaviness behind your eyes. Let the warmth of the fire touch your face, and the hush of the hall wrap around you like a cloak. You are safe here. You are welcome here. The castle breathes with you, slow, deep, content. Sleep, if you wish. Or rest, and listen to the quiet song of stone and flame. The great hall remembers all. And tonight, it remembers you. Shoo. Can you smell it? A soft, savory warmth drifting on the air. Baked bread, simmering herbs, wood smoke curling from a stone oven. Tonight, dear listener, we take a slow walk into the heart of warmth, the castle kitchens. Not grand and polished, but lived in. Worn smooth by years of footsteps and laughter. Lit by flickering torches and soft, golden firelight. Come now. Let us follow the scent. Let us follow the heat. Candle. The path to the kitchens winds down a narrow corridor. Stone walls press gently on either side. You feel the air grow warmer with each step. Then. You turn the final corner, and the glow greets you. Welcome, to the kitchens of the castle. They are not quiet like the great hall or secret like the tunnels. They hum. They breathe. Long tables are laid with baskets of onions, herbs, and loaves. Hanging from the rafters are strings of garlic, bunches of rosemary, and tiny sacks of salt. In the great fireplace, a cauldron simmers slowly. Steam rising. A soft bloop bloop of stew thick with root vegetables, barley, and bone. Nearby, a small turning spit clicks rhythmically as a plump bird roasts to perfection. There are no harsh sounds here, only the cozy clatter of wooden spoons in bowls, the occasional hiss of fire, the muffled giggle of a kitchen maid telling a quiet joke. And through it all, the rhythm of warmth. Candle. You sit now on a small bench tucked by the hearth. The stones are warm beneath you. A kind-faced cook hands you a simple mug of warm broth, rich and soothing. You sip slowly. You close your eyes. And you listen. To the whispers of the kitchen walls. So many lives passed through this space. Children sneaking in to steal a plum. Old cooks who stirred pots with the same wooden spoon for decades. A knight leaning in the doorway, his helmet under one arm, asking, shyly, for something sweet. And the feasts. Oh, the feasts. You've heard of them, no doubt. Nobles dining in splendor. Roasted boar with golden apples. Trenches of bread soaked with honey and wine. Pies shaped like swans. But here, in the kitchens, the feast began. Each dish born from fire and flour. From hands that knew the exact pinch of spice to bring a smile. The feasts weren't just for kings, they were for weddings, for victories, for the harvest, for warmth in a winter that refused to end. And when the hall above roared with laughter and music, the kitchens below glowed with quiet pride. Candle. You lean back now, feeling the heat from the hearth brush your skin like the gentlest sun. On a shelf nearby, stacked neatly, are clay bowls, wooden cups, ladles carved by hand. Everything here feels touched. Used. Loved. The cooks do not shout. They move like dancers, quietly, confidently. One tends the coals. Another rolls dough, dusted with flour, her hands moving in slow circles. The youngest slices carrots, one by one, the pieces falling like rain onto the board. You could stay here forever. Shoo. Can you smell it? A soft, savory warmth drifting on the air. Baked bread, simmering herbs, wood smoke curling from a stone oven. Tonight, dear listener, we take a slow walk into the heart of warmth, the castle kitchens. Not grand and polished, but lived in. Worn smooth by years of footsteps and laughter. Lit by flickering torches and soft, golden firelight. Come now. Let us follow the scent. Let us follow the heat. Candle. The path to the kitchens winds down a narrow corridor. Stone walls press gently on either side. You feel the air grow warmer with each step. Then, you turn the final corner, and the glow greets you. Welcome, to the kitchens of the castle. They are not quiet like the great hall or secret like the tunnels. They hum. They breathe. Long tables are laid with baskets of onions, herbs, and loaves. Hanging from the rafters are strings of garlic, bunches of rosemary, and tiny sacks of salt. In the great fireplace, a cauldron simmers slowly. Steam rising. A soft bloop bloop of stew thick with root vegetables, barley, and bone. Nearby, a small turning spit clicks rhythmically as a plump bird roasts to perfection. There are no harsh sounds here, only the cozy clatter of wooden spoons in bowls, the occasional hiss of fire, the muffled giggle of a kitchen maid telling a quiet joke. And through it all, the rhythm of warmth. Candle. You sit now on a small bench tucked by the hearth. The stones are warm beneath you. A kind-faced cook hands you a simple mug of warm broth, rich and soothing. You sip slowly. You close your eyes. And you listen. To the whispers of the kitchen walls. So many lives passed through this space. Children sneaking in to steal a plum. Old cooks who stirred pots with the same wooden spoon for decades. A knight leaning in the doorway, his helmet under one arm, asking, shyly, for something sweet. And the feasts. Oh, the feasts. You've heard of them, no doubt. Nobles dining in splendor. Roasted boar with golden apples. Trenches of bread soaked with honey and wine. Pies shaped like swans. But here, in the kitchens, the feast began. Each dish born from fire and flour. From hands that knew the exact pinch of spice to bring a smile. The feasts weren't just for kings, they were for weddings, for victories, for the harvest, for warmth in a winter that refused to end. And when the hall above roared with laughter and music, the kitchens below glowed with quiet pride. Candle. You lean back now, feeling the heat from the hearth brush your skin like the gentlest sun. On a shelf nearby, stacked neatly, are clay bowls, wooden cups, ladles carved by hand. Everything here feels touched. Used. Loved. The cooks do not shout. They move like dancers, quietly, confidently. One tends the coals. Another rolls dough, dusted with flour, her hands moving in slow circles. The youngest slices carrots, one by one, the pieces falling like rain onto the board. You could stay here forever. Shoo. You've rested well in the warmth of the kitchen hearth. Now, we step once more into the cool stone corridors. The castle breathes slowly around you, content, timeless. This time, we walk toward the entrance, not to leave, but to understand. To listen. To stand in the place where every soul, friend or foe, once passed. Come with me, softly now. Let's walk toward the gatehouse. Let's stand behind the portcullis. Candle. The hallways here feel different. Wider. Heavier. The walls are thicker, the air cooler. You can almost feel the tension that once lived in this place, subtle, quiet, always watching. And there it is ahead of you now. The Gatehouse. A great stone chamber with iron-bound doors at the front and back. And above? The portcullis. A mighty iron grate, shaped like teeth, ready to rise or fall at a moment's notice. It hangs there now, still, waiting. Its thick beams are wrapped in silence. You walk closer. Look up. Imagine it falling, suddenly, swiftly. With the deep, metallic growl of iron sliding down its grooves. But tonight, it does not move. Tonight, it sleeps. Just like the rest of the castle. Candle. Step inside now. The gatehouse is more than an entrance, it is a guardian. Here, guards stood at all hours. Clad in chainmail, cloaks draped across their shoulders, eyes sharp beneath iron helms. They watched the road beyond the moat, they noted every rider, every cart, every stranger who approached. And inside? They tracked every servant, every guest, every squire returning late from the field. This was the threshold between worlds. Outside, the unknown. Inside, the protection of stone. Candle. You take a seat on a worn wooden bench inside the gatehouse. It sits low against the wall, beside a small brazier still warm from earlier coals. A spear leans nearby, its shaft smooth from years of careful hands. You run your fingers across it, and you listen. To the silence. To the memory. There's a kind of still strength here. Not loud or cruel. Just, present. The guards were not just soldiers. They were watchers. Keepers. They knew the names of every servant. They could tell when a horse approached by the sound of its hooves. They noticed when a merchant's cart creaked just a little too loudly. They greeted friends with a nod. And stood unmoved at the approach of strangers. Candle. Above the gatehouse were rooms, small chambers for the guards to rest, eat, and wait. Their boots stood by the hearth. Their cloaks hung neatly on wooden pegs. They didn't sleep deeply. They rested lightly, always listening for the next knock, the next call from the wall. Sometimes, they'd take turns walking the battlements at night. Their torches glowing softly like fireflies above the sleeping world. Other times, they'd stand here, behind the portcullis, hearing only the wind, and the gentle rhythm of their own breath. Just like you now. Candle. Let yourself sit still. Your shoulders ease. The stone wall behind you feels strong, like a mountain. Out beyond the iron grate, the moonlight paints the ground in silver. Nothing stirs. No enemies march. No horns blow. Only peace. Only sleep. You lie back now on the bench. The guard's old woolen cloak makes a fine blanket. You close your eyes. And the gatehouse watches over you. Just as it has watched over thousands before. Candle. Here, there is nothing to fear. The portcullis stands. The walls hold fast. The moat lies still. And the stars remain. Sleep, dear listener. Sleep behind the safety of stone. The guards may be gone. But their presence lingers. Steady. Calm. Ever watchful. And tonight, they watch over you. Shoo. The guards have fallen silent. The portcullis behind you rests in shadow. Now, we walk once more into the light. But not the harsh light of day. No, this is the soft, golden light of a courtyard at dawn. A quiet garden nestled within stone walls. Hidden, protected. Waiting only for you. Step gently, now. The path beneath your feet is warm with old sun. Let the breeze brush your cheeks. Let the stillness hold your hand. You've entered the castle's heart. Its place of peace. Its courtyard. Candle. The castle courtyard was more than open ground. It was a sanctuary. A breath between battles. A pause between duties. A place where voices grew softer, and time slowed. You look around now. Stone walls surround you, but there is no weight here, only light. Creeping ivy climbs lazily up the gray surfaces. The air is rich with scent, lavender, thyme, rosemary. A small fountain bubbles at the center, its waters trickling in a soft, endless lullaby. Birds flutter gently through the hedges. The sky above is wide and open. It feels like a dream you forgot you had, until now. Candle. Long ago, this space was filled with quiet tasks. A lady tending to her herbs. A boy brushing a pony near the stable doors. A priest sitting on a bench, whispering prayers as he turned a rosary in his fingers. Children played here too, barefoot, laughing, chasing one another between the apple trees. And when war darkened the land, even the knights would step into this garden to breathe. They'd sit with their swords laid beside them. Letting their eyes rest on the roses. Letting their hearts remember gentleness. Candle. You walk now across the grass. It's soft beneath your feet. A bench sits beside the fountain, carved from stone, smoothed by time. You take a seat. The water murmurs nearby. Each drip, each splash, like the ticking of a peaceful clock. No urgency. No alarm. Only rhythm. Only calm. You watch a butterfly hover over the rosemary bush. Its wings move like a sigh. You hear a bee hum lazily past your ear, never in a hurry. Everything in this courtyard moves, but softly. Like breath. Like sleep. Candle. The plants here weren't just beautiful. They had purpose. The castle's healer would come to the courtyard to gather herbs. Chamomile for sleep. Mint for fever. Yarrow for wounds. Even the soil itself held memory, of hands that dug gently, lovingly. Of seeds planted in hope. Of blooms that returned, year after year. You reach down now and press your hand into the earth. It's warm. Alive. Ancient. And yet, always new. Candle. Let your eyes close. Let the sun touch your face. Let the stone behind you support your weight like a chair made of time. You are safe here. No one will disturb you. The courtyard belongs to peace. And now, it belongs to you. Feel the breeze pass over your arms, like fingers brushing a harp. Feel the soft rustle of leaves. The gentle chirping of birds hidden in the trees. Let every sound carry you deeper into stillness. Candle. Some courtyards were filled with flowers. Others held quiet statues, of saints, of kings, of knights long past. A few had labyrinths of trimmed hedge. Places for walking. For thinking. For being still. Tonight, you are one of them. A wanderer of stillness. A visitor to peace. The stone may rise around you. But here, within these walls, the heart of the castle blooms. And it blooms softly. Quietly. For you. Candle. Lay back now on the soft grass. Watch the sky turn slowly from blue to silver. And feel the castle's breath, rise and fall, with your own. Sleep beneath the ivy. Sleep beside the fountain. Let the petals of lavender carry your dreams on their backs. Let the herbs cradle your thoughts like lullabies. You are held in peace. In green. In light. And when you wake, the garden will still be here. Just waiting. Just blooming. Sleep well, gentle dreamer. Shoo. You're still wrapped in the hush of ivy and the garden's warmth. The breeze lingers behind you as we slip through a small arched door at the far end of the courtyard. Stone gives way to velvet. And torchlight flickers like fireflies along the walls. You've entered the quietest part of the castle now. The private world. The world of soft whispers and slower footsteps. Tonight, we visit the lady's chamber. Not just a room. But a haven. A cocoon of calm and quiet grace. Come in. Let the door close behind you. Leave the world outside. Candle. The stone floor is covered here, not bare, but warm beneath woven rugs and gentle tapestries. Each one tells a story stitched in thread, a knight on horseback, a unicorn in a glade, a moon rising behind a tower. The lady's chamber smells of lavender and old parchment. The air is softer here. Everything is slower. You can feel it already. Breathe in. And let it settle over you. Candle. The windows are tall and narrow, set with colored glass that catches the candlelight in soft blues and rose. They paint the room in delicate hues, as if dusk never left. A wooden writing desk sits by one window, papers, ink, and a quill carefully arranged. Perhaps a letter waits to be finished. A secret message half-written. Or a quiet poem, composed by candlelight. Noblewomen were more than ornaments. They were the heart of the home. Keepers of knowledge, of diplomacy, of stillness. They read. They prayed. They wrote. They waited. And in this room, their thoughts still echo. Candle. You step now toward the canopy bed, its posts carved with vines, its curtains heavy with embroidered silk stud. A gown is draped over the corner of the chair beside it, deep green with gold stitching at the hem. The bed itself looks soft, layered with furs and wool, its pillows fluffed and fragrant. You sit for a moment, running your fingers across the woven coverlet. It feels like peace itself. Here, in this space, time bends. The lady might be at prayer. She might be brushing her hair in silence, each stroke a meditation. She might be gazing out the window, waiting for news from the road. But tonight, she has made room for you. Candle. You notice the chamber's small touches. A rosary laid neatly on the bedside table. A small mirror polished smooth from use. A music box, waiting to be wound. In the corner, a spinning wheel sleeps beside a basket of wool. The rhythm of the lady's day was not loud. It moved like embroidery, thread by thread, thought by thought. And though she wore rings and jewels at court, here, in her chamber, she wore silence. And grace. And the gentle hum of her own mind. Candle. Let your thoughts drift as you rest against the soft pillows. You're safe in this room. The walls do not judge. The air does not hurry. Outside, the castle continues its ancient rhythm. But here, it pauses. It listens. The lady's cat purrs from its place at the foot of the bed, curled like a question mark in the candlelight. The fire crackles gently in the hearth. And the whole room sighs with comfort. Candle. You imagine yourself now, not as a visitor, but as the inhabitant of this room. You wake in velvet dawn. You stretch by the window, birdsong rising like prayer. You write in your journal, a soft smile on your lips. You breathe the stillness and wear it like a cloak. This is your chamber. This is your quiet power. Candle. Sleep now beneath the canopy. Let the curtains fall around you like dusk. Let the perfume of lavender and parchment fill your thoughts. Let the whisper of silk and the flicker of candlelight guide your dreams. You are at home. You are held in nobility's grace. And in the hush of the lady's chamber. Nothing can touch you. Sleep well, quiet soul. The castle watches. And the lady's spirit smiles. Shoo. You've rested in the velvet hush of the lady's chamber. Now the night grows deeper, and the castle draws inward. We walk slowly now, upward again, toward stone, toward silence, toward strength. Past guarded halls, past thick walls. We enter the keep. The oldest part of the castle. The last defense. The final sanctuary. Tonight, we walk where kings once walked. But not in grandeur. In stillness. Candle. The air here is cool. Still. It does not stir. The stone feels heavier. Thicker. This is the heart of the fortress. The keep stood at the very center of the castle, sometimes as a towering square, sometimes a round drum. Built first. Built strongest. Its walls could be up to 12 feet thick, and sometimes even more. They were not built for comfort. They were built to last. To wait out sieges. To shelter the royal family. To hold the line when nothing else could. You run your hand along the wall now. It's cool, dry, unyielding. And yet, strangely comforting. Like a mountain that leans over you protectively. Candle. Inside the keep, the king's chamber lies high above. We climb slowly, up the stone stairs, worn smooth by the footsteps of centuries. There are no carpets here. No tapestries. Just the sound of your own breath, and the soft touch of torchlight on cold stone. But at the top, a door. Heavy. Iron-banded. You press gently, and it opens with a soft, tired sigh. And there, lies the king's chamber. Candle. It is not what you expect. Not gold or marble or gems. It is simple. Strong. Measured. A heavy wooden chair sits near the hearth. Not a throne, but a place of thought. The king did not wear his crown here. Here, he set it aside. Here, he rested his sword. Here, he sat, and thought. About borders. About people. About peace. The windows are narrow, and far apart. Just enough to let the light in. Just enough to see the horizon. A table sits nearby, maps spread across it, marked with faded ink and worn corners. A goblet sits untouched. And beside the fire, a bed. Not large. But firm. Draped in wool and fur. It is here the king slept when he had to. When the castle was under threat, when the world outside the walls cracked and burned. This was his last line of safety. And strangely, of peace. Candle. You sit now in the king's chair. The fire glows quietly before you. No courtiers. No noise. Just your heartbeat. And the sound of the wind whispering beyond the wall. You wonder now, how many kings felt lonely here? How many leaders stared at the fire and questioned everything? Power is heavy. Even in a fortress. Especially here. But tonight, there is no burden. Only quiet. Candle. You lie down on the king's bed. It creaks softly. You pull the heavy blanket over your shoulders. And you realize something simple. The keep was not built to dazzle. It was built to protect. To hold. To keep safe not just one life, but the soul of the kingdom. And right now, it holds you. Candle. The fire crackles softly. Ash falls in slow spirals. The stone holds its warmth longer than expected. And the silence here is not empty. It is full. Full of memory. Full of thought. Full of peace. Let your body rest now. Let your limbs grow heavy. You are safe in the king's keep. You are behind the thickest walls. The deepest stone. The most enduring heart of the castle. And outside, the wind may blow. The world may turn. But within these walls, you sleep. As the kings once did. Calm. Still. Held. Candle. Sleep now. In the oldest part of the castle. Sleep in the stone that never falls. Sleep where power laid down its head. And knew silence. And dreamed. Shoo. You've rested beneath the stone weight of the king's keep. Now, follow me once more. Our footsteps quiet on worn stone. The castle still sleeps. But a different silence greets us now. Not one of defense. But of reverence. A chapel waits nearby. Modest. Peaceful. Wrapped in shadow and starlight. Here, faith once bloomed, in whispers, in prayer, in the flutter of candle flames. Let's enter softly now. Candle. The chapel is small. Tucked into the castle's side, close to the private quarters. Not built to impress. But to connect. Stone columns rise like tree trunks along the walls, supporting a vaulted ceiling. The air is cooler here. Still. Sacred. You take a step forward, and your breath seems to hush itself. This is holy ground. Not by size or riches. But by stillness. Candle. Wooden pews line either side of the narrow aisle. Worn smooth by generations of knights and nobles. Each seat tells a story. Of a whispered hope. A silent confession. A moment of still courage. At the front stands a simple altar. Draped in linen. A single gold cross glows in the candlelight. Beside it, an open book. Scripture. Hand-copied by monks long ago. Its pages tremble slightly in the breeze, as if still alive. Candle. This was where the castle came to pray. Before battle. After peace. In joy, and grief, and quiet need. Here, a knight might kneel, sword laid across the steps, praying for strength or forgiveness. A lady might light a candle and sit in silence, her eyes closed, lips unmoving. The priest, old and gentle, would move slowly down the aisle, robes whispering across the stones. He would offer no grand sermons, only presence. And quiet. Candle. You kneel now at the side of the chapel. A small alcove holds a statue of the Virgin and Child. The stone is smooth, pale, glowing in the candlelight. You don't need to speak. You simply, breathe. Let the weight of centuries fall from your shoulders. Let your heart beat slow. Here, no one asks anything of you. There is no judgment. Only stillness. Only spirit. Candle. You notice the chapel's windows, small, round, stained with gentle colors. Sunlight would have streamed through them at dawn, scattering blue and red and gold across the altar. But tonight, the moonlight comes instead. It shines silver across the floor. A quiet benediction. You follow the light with your eyes. You let it guide your thoughts. Softly. Gently. Candle. Faith in the castle was not about noise. It was about rhythm. Monks walking in circles. Chants whispered in Latin. The rustle of turning pages. The strike of a bell in the distance, marking the hours. Even those who did not deeply believe, still came. To feel peace. To find stillness. To breathe in the hush that lived here. Candle. You take a seat now in one of the pews. The wood is warm beneath your hands. You close your eyes. There is no storm inside you tonight. No worry. Only candlelight flickering in your thoughts. Only prayers written in silence. You do not need to speak them. The stone understands. Candle. The chapel holds you. Like cupped hands. Like a lullaby without words. You rest your head back against the wall. And the flicker of candles becomes stars behind your eyes. Soft. Infinite. Sacred. Let yourself drift. You are not alone here. You are wrapped in warmth. In stone and spirit. And tonight, your soul can sleep. Candle. Let the candles burn. Let the quiet hold you. And let sleep come, like a prayer answered gently in the dark. The chapel doors close softly behind you. You are lighter now. Your breath calm. Your heart still. But the castle calls again, gently. And we answer. We walk through a quiet corridor, winding upward once more. A spiral staircase waits. Each step feels like turning a page. And at the top, a different world. A world of fabric and fragrance. A place few ever saw, but many dreamed of. The wardrobe tower. Candle. The air here is warmer. Not with fire, but with fabric. The scent of cedar, lavender sachets, and old silk fills the space. Wooden shelves and carved wardrobes line the walls. Chests are tucked beneath benches and at the foot of beds. Everywhere you look, color. Texture. Stories stitched into every seam. You walk slowly. The sound of your fingertips brushing velvet is like the soft wings of moths in moonlight. Candle. Castles held clothing not only as necessity, but as status. As art. A noblewoman might own 10 gowns for a single season. Each sewn by hand. Each fitted with care. Her robes would shimmer in candlelight. Silk imported from Italy. Velvet from Flanders. Dyed in rich shades of crimson, deep blue, gold, and forest green. Colors once so rare, they were reserved only for royalty or the church. And tonight, they surround you. Candle. You approach a wardrobe and open it slowly. The hinges creak like an old violin. Inside, gowns hang like sleeping ghosts. Their sleeves long, their hems embroidered with golden thread. You run your hand along one, and it sighs beneath your touch. A fur-lined cloak is folded on the shelf below. Heavy. Warm. Made from ermine, or sable, or fox. It was once wrapped around a queen. Or a duchess. Or a child born beneath a comet. Candle. On a nearby table lie hair accessories, fine combs made from ivory. Ribbons dyed in indigo. Pearls sewn onto netted veils. These were not simply fashion. They were messages. To wear white was purity. To wear red was passion. To wear black, mourning. But tonight, there are no rules. No eyes to watch. You are free to dress the dream. Candle. You find a mirror. Its surface aged and gently clouded. But it still reflects enough to see the soft candlelight in your eyes. You try on a mantle lined in fur. You place a silver circlet upon your brow. You move slowly, like a character in a legend. You are not pretending. You are remembering. Candle. A small chest sits open nearby. Inside are gloves. Dozens of them. Thin leather. Embroidered linen. Fringed with lace. Each pair once worn by hands that held fans, or parchments, or the reins of a warhorse. There is power in this softness. There is history in every stitch. Candle. You find a quiet bench. Cushioned in silk, tucked between two wardrobes. You sit. Letting your thoughts soften like wool in warm water. Outside, the wind hushes against the tower walls. Inside, only the faint scent of herbs and worn cloth. You lean back. The velvet pillows cradle your head. And you realize. This tower is not loud with color. It is quiet with memory. Candle. Clothing was not just worn. It was passed down. Wrapped in linen. Tied with ribbon. Gifted to daughters. Saved for weddings. Carried into exile. Mended by moonlight. And tonight, it is yours. To rest in. To drift through. To dream. Candle. Let your mind wander. To silk that shimmers like water. To fur that warms like a soft breath. To laces that tie not just gowns, but centuries together. Sleep now. In satin. In silence. In the gentle arms of garments that remember more than they ever spoke. You are safe in the wardrobe tower. And the castle watches over your dreams. You've left behind silks and furs. Velvet and ivory. Now, you walk barefoot down a stone corridor. Cool beneath your soles. The castle is almost entirely asleep now. The fires have settled into embers. The wind has calmed. And yet, if you listen closely, the castle still speaks. Not in words, but in echoes. In sounds that travel through ancient stone. Candle. Let your ears adjust. Let the quiet reveal itself. There, just at the edge of hearing. A drip of water in the distance. Regular. Soft. Perhaps from a crack in the wall. A place where rain found its way in. Each drop echoes like a heartbeat down a long corridor. Drip. 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 Candle. Far off, a creak. A wooden beam settling. A heavy door shifting in its sleep. The castle breathes. Not like you or me. But like earth. Slow. Deep. Enduring. Candle. You pause now beside a window slit. A breeze weaves through, just barely. You hear it whistle, soft and low, like a forgotten lullaby. The wind finds every secret crack in the stone. And makes music. A quiet song of time. Of centuries. Of rest. Candle. You continue walking. The hall opens into a stairwell, your steps echo gently now. Not loud. But there. One after another. Tap, tap, tap. Each footstep travels down the spiral. Bouncing softly from wall to wall. Stone remembers sound differently than air. It doesn't let go quickly. It holds on to things. Just like the castle. Candle. You sit now on the step. And just, listen. To nothing. And everything. The crackle of embers in a hearth 2 floors down. The clink of a chain swaying on a torch bracket in the draft. The rustle of a tapestry shifting slightly. Even silence has texture here. It wraps around you. And rocks you. Candle. In the distance, perhaps from the kitchen below, you hear the faint scurry of a mouse. Quick. Light. Gone again. In the tower above, a bell rope sways, but no bell rings. It's simply moving in rhythm with the wind's breath. All these sounds. They do not disturb you. They calm you. They remind you. The castle is alive. And watching over you. Candle. Even your own breath joins this ancient song. Inhale. Exhale. Soft. Steady. Like the rhythm of old prayers. Like the waves of time brushing gently against stone. Candle. You lie down now on a bench beside the stairwell. The stone wall behind you is cool, but comforting. Above you, the beams groan softly. Like an old tree stretching its limbs in the night. You smile. Everything is in tune. Candle. You remember now. That the castle doesn't sleep the way people do. It rests. It listens. It holds. Through thunder. Through feasts. Through weddings, and wars. It has heard everything. And tonight, it hears you. Candle. Sleep, dear dreamer. Let the echoes surround you. Let the ancient lullaby of stone and wind carry you gently. No words are needed now. Just this rhythm. Just this breath. Just this quiet. You are safe. And the castle is singing you to sleep. The sounds of the castle grow quieter now. You rise slowly from the stone bench. And follow the gentle pull of warmth and calm. Down a narrow passage. Lit by small lanterns. Smelling faintly of herbs and beeswax. The air here is soft, and still. You've entered the infirmary. The castle's hidden place of healing. Candle. It isn't grand. It isn't large. But it is tender. A long, low room with narrow beds tucked neatly along the walls. Each one made of wood. Covered in linen. Layered with wool and care. There are no moans here. No cries. Only rest. Only the hush of gentle recovery. Candle. A woman moves softly between the beds. Not a queen. But a healer. Her robes are plain. Her hands are steady. She checks a bandage here. Replaces a cloth there. Whispers something kind and low. A prayer? A memory? She does not raise her voice. The walls here respond best to quiet. Candle. Shelves along the wall hold small clay jars and dark green bottles. Each labeled with a word you can barely read. Marjoram. Yarrow. Comfrey. Valerian. Herbs for healing. Roots for fever. Ointments for bruises and wounds. You open one jar. A warm scent drifts up, lavender and beeswax. She used it for burns. Or troubled sleep. You breathe it in. And feel the tension ease from your shoulders. Candle. Next to the shelves, bowls made of smooth wood, mortars and pestles. Cloths dipped in warm water. A fire glows softly at the far end of the room, warming a pot of steeping herbs. It smells, comforting. Not strong. Not strange. Just like something familiar from long ago. Candle. You take a seat on an empty bed. The mattress dips gently under your weight. A linen sheet pulled tight and clean. The pillow, filled with soft straw and herbs, carries the scent of sleep. You rest your hands on your lap. And listen. Candle. No footsteps echo here. Only the sound of breathing. Slow and steady. A patient sighs gently in her dreams. A boy murmurs something unintelligible. The healer adjusts a blanket, then sits near the hearth. She closes her eyes. Even caretakers must rest. Candle. In this room, there is no judgment. No worry about armor or titles. Here, you are simply a body. A heart. A mind. Needing care. And care is given freely. Lovingly. Softly. Candle. You lie back now. Let your head sink into the herb-scented pillow. The blanket is pulled up to your shoulders. The warmth is immediate. But not heavy. Just enough. You feel your eyes growing heavier. You feel your breath slow. And the silence here. It does not press down. It lifts you. Candle. The infirmary is not sad. It is hopeful. A place of small miracles. A place where pain whispered its story. And healing whispered back. And tonight. You do not need to be brave. You do not need to speak. You simply rest. Candle. Let your muscles relax. Let your worries unravel. Let the balm of sleep coat your soul like honey on a burn. You are in gentle hands now. You are wrapped in quiet care. You are part of this old rhythm. Of falling. Of resting. Of rising. But not yet. Not tonight. Tonight, you only drift. Wrapped in warmth. Held by the castle's healing heart. Sleep, dreamer. Sleep deeply. The infirmary fades behind you. Its scent of herbs and hush still clinging softly to your cloak. Now, the corridor begins to slope downward. A gentle descent into warmth. You follow the faint glow of firelight. And the distant, comforting clatter of quiet work. You are headed to the castle kitchens. Candle. As the door opens, you are embraced by warmth. By the rich aroma of bread just out of the oven. Thyme and rosemary steeping in hot broth. And wood smoke curling up through the open chimney. This is not the silence of the chapel. Nor the stillness of the tower. This is a living hush. A hum beneath the stone. A cradle of fire and flower. Candle. The hearth is massive. Its fire, low and slow, like an ancient dragon curled in sleep. Beside it, a large pot simmers. Its contents unknown, but inviting. A stew, perhaps. Thick with lentils and leeks. You don't need to taste it. The smell alone is enough to feed your dreams. Candle. Wooden tables stretch across the kitchen. On them. Round loaves cooling on cloth. Trays of dried fruits, plums, apples, figs. Wheels of soft cheese, dusted with herbs. A jug of honey, glistening like gold in the candlelight. And resting in a corner, a stack of clean plates. Handmade, each one slightly different, like snowflakes shaped by calloused hands. Candle. The cook is here. Older than most. Her back a little bent, but her movements sure. She hums to herself. A low, steady melody with no words. It rises and falls with the stirring of a spoon. You watch as she kneads dough, slow, rhythmic, almost meditative. Thump. Press. Fold. Thump. Press. Fold. She does not look up. She doesn't need to. This is her world. And it runs not by the bell, but by the heartbeat of the kitchen. Candle. The walls are lined with tools and pans. Copper pots hang like quiet sentinels. Baskets hold onions, garlic, and herbs drying in the warmth. A cat sleeps curled beside the hearth. Unbothered. Content. It twitches once, then returns to its dreams. Even the animals are at peace here. Candle. You find a seat on a small wooden bench near the oven. It's warm beneath you. The scent of baking bread fills the air completely now. It smells like comfort. Like memory. Like 1,000 evenings layered one atop the other. You lean back and close your eyes. Letting the sounds guide you. The crackling of logs. The soft whistle of steam escaping a kettle. The gentle tap of a spoon on the rim of a bowl. Every sound is familiar. Every note, soothing. Candle. You feel the weight of the day sliding from your shoulders. You imagine meals shared here long ago. Nights clinking cups. Children sneaking bites of warm crust. A kitchen maid laughing softly as she pours cider into a clay mug. All of it echoes around you now. But without noise. Without distraction. Just warmth. Just memory. Candle. The cook sets down a small bowl beside you. She doesn't speak. But you know what she offers: comfort. Perhaps warm porridge with cinnamon. Or a spoonful of stewed apples. You hold the bowl in your hands. It warms your palms. You don't need to eat. The offering is enough. The care is enough. Candle. You rest your head against the wall. Your eyelids flutter. The warmth of the oven seeps into your bones. And the kitchen sings its slow lullaby. Not with voice, but with the ancient rhythm of feeding in fire. Candle. Let yourself drift now. Through flower-dusted dreams. Through the slow churn of spoons and stories. You are safe here. Wrapped in the arms of earth and ember. Sleep deeply, dear one. Let the castle's kitchen cradle your rest. And carry you gently, into dream. The warmth of the kitchen fades behind you. A gentle heat still resting in your chest. Now you walk slowly through a quiet corridor. The stone beneath your feet worn smooth by centuries of steps. You turn a corner. And there before you, the great hall. Candle. It stands like a sleeping giant. Tall ceilings arched with oak beams. Windows rising like the eyes of the castle. During the day, this room was alive. Filled with voices. With laughter. With music. But now it rests. And in its stillness, it holds a different kind of power. Candle. The fire has faded into red-orange coals. They glow faintly in the large hearth. Casting gentle shadows across the room. Long tables are still in place. The feast long finished. Plates stacked. Candles melted to waxy pools. Cups tipped slightly on their sides. Not messy. Just, quiet. Like the end of a dream. Candle. You walk slowly down the center of the hall. Your steps make the softest sound. A tap barely louder than a whisper. Above you, the banners sway slightly in the draft. Each one bearing a symbol. A lion, a tree, a sunburst. Coats of arms for families long gone. But their stories linger. Held in the fabric. In the stone. Candle. On the high table, a silver goblet still gleams. You lift it gently. It's cool in your hands. You imagine the hand that once held it, strong, maybe gloved. Or soft, with rings. A toast once made in joy. Now echoing softly through time. You place it back where it belongs. Candle. The walls are lined with old tapestries. They tell tales without words. A knight riding into battle. A queen beneath a blooming tree. Stars stitched into midnight blue velvet. You trace a thread with your finger. The stitch is tight. Precise. As if the maker wove their own breath into it. Candle. You take a seat on one of the benches, the wood is smooth beneath you. You close your eyes. And begin to listen. Not to the present. But to the past. Candle. You hear the clink of goblets. The low hum of a harp in the corner. Laughter, far away. The soft tap of a servant's shoes on stone. The swoosh of a dancer's gown. Voices rise and fall, like waves. Each one echoing through the bones of the castle. None loud. None urgent. Just memories. Playing gently in the candlelit silence. Candle. You breathe in. The scent of roast meat is gone. But you smell the faintest trace of smoke. Of beeswax. Of old stone, warmed by centuries of fire and joy. Candle. The great hall is not lonely. It is full. Of moments. Of echoes. Of love and laughter, meals and meetings. And now, of you. A quiet guest. A listener. A dreamer. Candle. You lie back on the bench. Let your head rest against the wood. The fire's glow flickers across your closed eyelids. And still, the echoes murmur. Not to disturb you, but to cradle you. To rock you softly toward sleep. Candle. The castle watches still. But here, it remembers. It honors. And it welcomes your rest like a guest of honor. Let your breath slow. Let your limbs sink. Let the great hall sing you a lullaby without words. You are part of its story now. And the feast of dreams awaits. Sleep deeply, gentle soul. The castle is quiet. And so are you. The warmth of the kitchen fades behind you. A gentle heat still resting in your chest. Now you walk slowly through a quiet corridor. The stone beneath your feet worn smooth by centuries of steps. You turn a corner. And there before you. The great hall. Candle. It stands like a sleeping giant. Tall ceilings arched with oak beams. Windows rising like the eyes of the castle. During the day, this room was alive. Filled with voices. With laughter. With music. But now it rests. And in its stillness, it holds a different kind of power. Candle. The fire has faded into red-orange coals. They glow faintly in the large hearth. Casting gentle shadows across the room. Long tables are still in place. The feast long finished. Plates stacked. Candles melted to waxy pools. Cups tipped slightly on their sides. Not messy. Just, quiet. Like the end of a dream. Candle. You walk slowly down the center of the hall. Your steps make the softest sound. A tap barely louder than a whisper. Above you, the banners sway slightly in the draft. Each one bearing a symbol. A lion, a tree, a sunburst. Coats of arms for families long gone. But their stories linger. Held in the fabric. In the stone. Candle. On the high table, a silver goblet still gleams. You lift it gently. It's cool in your hands. You imagine the hand that once held it, strong, maybe gloved. Or soft, with rings. A toast once made in joy. Now echoing softly through time. You place it back where it belongs. Candle. The walls are lined with old tapestries. They tell tales without words. A knight riding into battle. A queen beneath a blooming tree. Stars stitched into midnight blue velvet. You trace a thread with your finger. The stitch is tight. Precise. As if the maker wove their own breath into it. Candle. You take a seat on one of the benches, the wood is smooth beneath you. You close your eyes. And begin to listen. Not to the present. But to the past. Candle. You hear the clink of goblets. The low hum of a harp in the corner. Laughter, far away. The soft tap of a servant's shoes on stone. The swoosh of a dancer's gown. Voices rise and fall, like waves. Each one echoing through the bones of the castle. None loud. None urgent. Just memories. Playing gently in the candlelit silence. Candle. You breathe in. The scent of roast meat is gone. But you smell the faintest trace of smoke. Of beeswax. Of old stone, warmed by centuries of fire and joy. Candle. The great hall is not lonely. It is full. You imagine the craftsman who left it. Perhaps he paused for a meal. Or for a moment of reflection. And simply never returned. The room kept it safe. Just as it now keeps you. Candle. You lean back against the cool stone wall. Let the stillness sink into your skin. The weight of the armory is not heavy. It is grounding. It holds you like the roots of an old tree. Strong. Steady. Unmoving. Candle. Let your breath settle here. Let your thoughts slow. You do not need to hold a sword. You do not need to wear armor. You are already safe. Already protected. Already home. Candle. The armory sleeps now. And so can you. Wrapped not in chainmail, but in the warm blanket of memory. Guarded not by blade, but by the silence that follows peace. Sleep, noble dreamer. The castle watches still. But the battle is over. And your rest is earned. The armory rests behind you. Its echoes silenced. Its iron slumbering. Now, your path narrows. The air grows cooler. The walls curve around you. Leading not to grand halls or courtyards. But to something secret. Candle. Your hand brushes along the stone. Cool, dry, unmoving. Until you find it. A subtle line. A break in the wall where there should be none. And then a click. A soft shift. The stone moves. A door opens inward. Revealing darkness. And a chill that feels ancient. You found a hidden passage. Candle. You step inside. The air wraps around you like a whisper. Dry. Still. It smells of dust and time. And yet, it feels safe. This is not a place of fear. It's a place of protection. Of escape. Of silent movement. Candle. The passage is narrow. Just wide enough for a single person. The walls close, yet comforting. As if the castle is hugging you close. Guiding you gently through its quietest thoughts. Candle. Your steps are nearly silent on the stone. Only the faint crunch of old dust beneath your feet. Your hand traces the rough wall. Sometimes you feel smooth patches. Where countless fingertips passed before yours. Moving in the night. Carrying messages. Or fleeing danger. Or simply watching, unseen. Candle. A small lantern flickers ahead. Left by someone. Or always there. Its glow is soft. Like a memory remembered just before sleep. You lift it gently. It casts a golden pool of light before you. Just enough to walk. Just enough to wonder. Candle. You pass tiny doorways. Too small for grandeur. But large enough to listen through. A stone slit opens into a chamber you recognize. The great hall. Empty now. But you feel its breath. You realize, this tunnel has always been listening. Always watching. The castle has its eyes, its ears. Its secrets. And now, they're shared with you. Candle. Farther still. You reach a tight spiral stair, hidden within the wall. It turns downward. Deeper into the earth. Each step brings a new hush. Not silence from absence. But silence filled with meaning. This place was carved not just for safety. But for trust. Candle. You stop in a low alcove. A tiny room within the passage. A bench carved from the wall itself. A small niche where someone once placed a candle. You sit. And breathe. Candle. Here, there is no time. No seasons. No bells ringing above. Only the steady, beating heart of the castle. Soft. Enduring. Close. Candle. You run your hand over the bench. There are markings here. Initials, maybe a date, carved into the stone. Someone was here. Long ago. Maybe hiding. Maybe resting. Maybe doing just as you are now. Letting the walls hold their worries. Letting the stone absorb their thoughts. Candle. You lean back. And let the weight of the castle press in. Not to trap you. But to comfort. You are not lost. You are hidden. You are protected. Candle. Let your eyes drift closed. Let the lantern flicker at the edge of your vision. Here in the hidden passage. There is no need to run. No need to speak. You are safe in the belly of stone. Wrapped in the castle's most secret silence. Candle. And as sleep begins to tug at your mind. The passage hums with ancient calm. Its quiet is not empty. It is full. Of stories never told aloud. Of lives preserved by shadows. Of the hush that only stone can keep. Let it keep you now. Sleep well, quiet wanderer. You are cradled in the castle's secret arms. The hidden passage rests behind you. Its hush still wrapped around your shoulders. Now, you begin to rise. Step by step. Each footfall echoing gently in the spiral. You're climbing. Upward. Toward the sky. Candle. The air thins slightly. Not cold. But light. Crisp. You feel the castle's breath around you. As though it, too, is exhaling slowly. Letting go of weight. Of worry. Of time. Candle. The bell tower awaits above. The highest place. Where sound once rang clear across fields and forest. Where time was kept. And souls were summoned. But now. It is quiet. Its bells sleep. And the only chime, is the wind. Candle. You reach a wooden door. Old. Heavy. Its iron hinges still strong. You push it open gently. It creaks softly, like an old friend rousing from slumber. Candle. You step into the tower chamber. And above you. They hang. The bells. Still. Monumental. Silent. Their surfaces dappled with dust and time. No ropes sway. No hammers rise. And yet, you feel their presence. They hold not sound. But memory. Candle. The wind passes through the slits in the stone. It hums. Not like a song. But like breath. Like the voice of the sky whispering to stone. It moves your hair. It cools your skin. It invites you. Candle. You walk slowly to the edge. Where the tower opens slightly to the outside world, the view is vast. Rolling hills in moonlight. Forests like velvet shadows. The castle rooftops below, like folded wings. The stars stretch overhead, endless and unblinking. Candle. You sit on the smooth edge of the opening. The stone is cool beneath you. But safe. Solid. Timeless. Your legs dangle slightly. And the wind cradles your face like a gentle hand. Candle. You imagine the bell ringing long ago. Its sound would have poured out across the land. A call. A warning. A celebration. But not tonight. Tonight, it is your silence that fills the air. Your peace that stretches from tower to treetop. Candle. You lean back. Your shoulders press against the ancient stone. You close your eyes. And the wind sings its song. A lullaby of leaves rustling. Of rooftops sighing. Of stars breathing light across the sky. Candle. The bells do not need to speak. Their silence is the song. The rest between the notes. The space that allows everything else to echo more clearly. And here, you rest. Not at the bottom of the world. But at the very top. cradled between earth and stars. Candle. Let your breath slow. Let your thoughts rise. Like smoke through the cracks. Drifting upward. Softly. Silently. Into the night. Candle. The bell tower watches all. It sees the slumbering courtyards. The dreaming chambers. The kitchens, the crypts, the gardens curled in darkness. And it sees you. Still. Safe. Wrapped in sky. Candle. Sleep here, at the crown of the castle. Above the whispers. Above the footsteps. Above time. Let the wind sing you down. And the stars hold your dreams. Sleep gently, sky dweller. Tomorrow is far. Tonight belongs to quiet. And to you. The bell tower fades behind you now. Its silence trailing like a ribbon on the wind. You descend gently. Not rushed. Not pulled. Just guided by peace. By gravity. By calm. Candle. As you move through the castle once more. You pass the chambers you've come to know. The gatehouse. The kitchens. The stables. Each one wrapped in stillness. In moonlight. In memory. Each room holding part of a story. And each story now holding you. Candle. The torches along the corridors burn low. Just soft flickers. No flames that dance. Just glow. A slow heartbeat of light. Pulsing like breath through the stone veins of the castle. Candle. You pause. Listen. The silence is no longer empty. It is full. Full of warmth. Of rest. Of lives once lived, and now remembered. This silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of peace. Candle. The castle is asleep. Its eyes closed. Its doors drawn gently inward. Its towers standing like sentinels in dreams. Candle. You step into one last chamber. One you've not seen until now. Not grand. Not hidden. Just quiet. A room with soft blankets, thick stone walls, and a window shaped like a crescent moon. This room belongs to you. Candle. A bed awaits. Simple. Inviting. Its linen smells of lavender and wool. Of safety. Of dreams tucked beneath covers like old books. You settle into the mattress. The pillow sighs beneath your head. And the blanket wraps around you like the arms of the castle itself. Candle. Outside, an owl calls, distant, soft. Leaves whisper. Stone breathes. And above it all, the stars watch gently. Candle. You are not a guest now. You are part of the castle's story. Not written in books. But in echoes. In breath. In stillness. Candle. Let yourself go. Let the chapters fade. Let the walls cradle your thoughts. Let the floor carry your weight. Let the ceiling hide you from worry. You are safe here. And you are welcome. Candle. The drawbridge is raised. The fire is out. The bells are still. The keys hang in the shadows. Everything that needed to be said, has been said. And everything that needed to be felt, is now felt. The castle has exhaled. And now, so do you. Candle. Breathe in. Soft. Breathe out. Slower still. Let your dreams stretch like vines through the corridors. Let your sleep curl like mist over the ramparts. Let your spirit sink down into the stone. And rise again in stars. Candle. Sleep, dear listener. Sleep, gentle dreamer. The castle sleeps with you. Its secrets shared. Its halls hushed. Its arms around you. And in this silence. In this stillness. You are home. Good night.